Swadika, hello and welcome. You're watching ASEAN Challenge, the show to give you the headlines, highlights and updates happening around your ASEAN community in two languages, Thai and English. I'm Rosalyn Tepawan.
And I'm Alisa สิทธิวงศ์ขอต้อนรับคุณผู้ชมทุกท่านเข้าสู่รายการ ASEAN Challenge ค่ะข่าวสารรอบอาเซียนของเราทั้งภาษาอังกฤษและภาษาไทยค่ะ
And kicking off the show now, in our first session ASEAN Around Us, let's talk about the updates concerning activities in Myanmar. A lot of pivotal moments continue to happen in the country, and right now it's one of the most, you could say, monumental changes happening in our ASEAN community. In Myanmar, the Panglong Conference 21st Century has just wrapped up, and Aung San Suu Kyi has come out to say that actually there has been a lot of good progress, and she made some positive remarks as a result.
That's right. So the conference itself was held from the 24th of May 2017 and ended, as you mentioned, just wrapped up on the 29th of May, a total of 6 days altogether. Now, in terms of the conference itself, in terms of the attendees who attended the conference, we can say that 700 people attended, which included government officials, people, representatives from the military, as well as political members, and as well as ethnic armed groups in which they were considered as more of the special guests coming to attend this conference this year.
Right, indeed. All the signatories there to hash out the discussions that could lead up to the national ceasefire agreement, which is the ultimate goal of this Panglong conference. But altogether, signatories have agreed out of 41 points on 37, and most of them had been on the same page concerning this movement towards non-secession. So everybody is staying for the long haul to hash out that dialogue in order to finalize the agreements of the Panglong or the national ceasefire agreement. But altogether, the wording, it's still in its infancy stage. There's still a lot more points to discuss. But altogether, there has been a lot of progress in covering major issues, including political dilemmas, economic, social security, even land and environmental discussions and issues as well.
That's right. So what Aung San Suu Kyi actually stated as well is that the number one priority is that, of course, is to end the decades of near perpetual civil wars within the Myanmar areas itself, which she sees as a key to unlocking the resource-rich country's potential and guaranteeing basic development for its more than 50 million people.
Right, indeed. Altogether, they have signed a lot of important points. Suu Kyi says that this is so far taking a very tangible form for the first time, so she's been quite upbeat as a result of these discussions recently in Naypyidaw. And from here on out, the process will continue to be transparent, she said, and altogether, she's not forcing various armed ethnic groups to join in the peace talks, but she's trying to push for open dialogue and also push for the ultimate federal state democracy, which is what she has been fighting for to begin with as well. A peace process which is in its infancy but still continuing. But this is happening at a time of still developing tensions among political factions and also ethnic armed groups.
That's right. So as we mentioned, of course, she's hoping for peace talks to go on. That's how she wants to, of course, resolve all the conflicts going on in the situation in Myanmar. However, as we noted that, the attendees included, of course, government, military, political groups, but also attending the event or the conference was ethnic armed groups, which included the TNLA, the MNDAA, and AA as well, which, of course, had an influence from China being able to push them into supporting them to enter into this conference, and hopefully will engage into more peace talks in the future as well.
Right. In addition to these particular armed ethnic groups, there was a seven-group coalition including the powerful United Wa State Army, also the Kachin Independence Army, the KIA. They were also invited as special guests to participate in these discussions. But they met with Aung San Suu Kyi here behind closed doors and didn't have a similar sit-down session with, say, the Burma Army Commander-in-Chief Senior General Min Aung Hlaing as well. So a handful of these groups have been pivotal and, you could say, really engaged in intensifying conflict with the Burmese army over the past several years.
That's right. So I guess this conference here, of course, was very beneficial to the decades-long conflicts that was going on, and of course other measures or other talks in other fields of course were also mentioned as well. So the conference wrapped up, as mentioned, on the 29th of May, a total of 6 days for the conference. Very positive feedback from Aung San Suu Kyi.
Indeed. So what to look forward to? She said she's hoping for you could say conferences and dialogues like this say on a yearly basis every 6 months, so biannually, and she's hoping to hold these high-level peace talks every 6 months, even though this latest conference came about 3 months later than originally hoped for, but altogether a good sign.
That's right. มาดูกันในส่วนแรกของอาเซียน around us ค่ะมาดูกันที่การประชุมปางหลงนั่นเองค่ะเป็นปางหลงศตวรรษที่21นั่นเองนะคะซึ่งการประชุมนี้ค่ะมีทั้งหมด6วันนะคะตั้งแต่วันที่24พฤษภาคมที่ผ่านมาจนถึงวันที่29พฤษภาคมที่ผ่านมาเนี่ยค่ะซึ่งในการประชุมเนี่ยค่ะก็มีทั้งหมด700คนที่เข้าร่วมนะคะไม่ว่าจะมาจากทางรัฐบาลมาจากทางกองทัพหรือว่ารวมถึงมีทั้งกลุ่มที่ถือว่ากองกำลังต่างๆที่เข้าร่วมด้วยซึ่งรวมไปถึงกองกำลังปัดลองนะคะ TNLA กองกำลังอื่นๆ MNDAA แล้วก็กองกำลังกองทัพของ AA ด้วยซึ่งทั้ง3กองทัพเนี่ยก็หรือว่ากองกำลังเนี่ยก็ถือว่าเป็นแขกพิเศษที่เข้าร่วมเพื่อที่จะมาพูดคุยต่างๆโดยเฉพาะในส่วนของการพูดถึงสันติภาพหรือว่าการพูดถึงpeace talks ในส่วนของการประชุมด้วยค่ะ
ค่ะนับว่าคนมากันเกือบครบเลยนะคะตั้ง700คนเป็นตัวแทนจากทุกกลุ่มมาเพื่อมาฟังมาคุยกันแล้วก็มาเซ็นแล้วก็มาจัดรายละเอียดที่เกี่ยวข้องกับ National Ceasefire Agreement ซึ่งเป็นจุดมุ่งหมายของอังซังซูจีที่พยายามที่จะพุชในการมีสันติภาพและก็กัลยาณมิตรที่ดีนะคะ
ค่ะก็ถ้าพูดถึงในส่วนขององซันซูจีเนี่ยค่ะหลังจากที่ผ่านมา6วันแล้วนางองซันซูจีก็บอกว่าผลลัพธ์จากการประชุมเนี่ยก็ถือว่าไปในทางบวกนะคะไปในทางที่ดีซึ่งทางนางองซันซูจีเนี่ยค่ะก็ได้กล่าวในที่ประชุมเนี่ยค่ะว่าคือทางพรรค NLD เนี่ยคือไม่ได้บังคับให้ใครเข้ามาพูดคุยกันหรือเจรจากันหรือว่าอย่างไรแต่ว่าอยากจะให้ร่วมกันสร้างสันติภาพในประเทศโดยที่จะดำเนินการผ่านรูปแบบการเจรจาแบบเปิดเผยนั่นเอง
ค่ะซึ่งทุกกลุ่มที่ได้ร่วมงานครั้งนี้นะคะ6วันนี้ก็เห็นด้วยกับการตัดสินใจว่าทุกคนจะมีการพุชหรือว่าพยายามที่จะผลักดันให้อยู่แล้วก็เจรจาให้ตลอดรอดฝั่งนะคะเพราะฉะนั้นจะเป็นการประชุมต่อเนื่องซึ่งนางองซังซูจีก็บอกว่าอยากจะประชุมให้บ่อยขึ้นทุก6เดือนนะคะแต่ก็คราวนี้ก็นับว่าประชุมกันช้ากว่าที่กำหนดไว้3เดือนแต่ก็นับว่าเป็นการคืบหน้าที่ดีค่ะระหว่างกลุ่มหลายๆกลุ่มในประเทศ
ถูกต้องค่ะก็ถือว่าเราต้องติดตามดูนะคะว่าประเทศพม่าหรือเมียนมาเนี่ยค่ะจะเป็นยังไงในอนาคตเพราะว่าถือว่าเป็นสเต็ปที่สำคัญเพื่อสู่สันติภาพที่เขาต้องการกันค่ะ
ค่ะเพราะว่าปัจจุบันนี้ในประเทศพม่าก็ยังประสบปัญหาทางด้านการเมืองนะคะระหว่างกลุ่มเผ่าพันธุ์ที่ยังมีอาวุธแล้วก็ยังไม่ยอมที่จะปล่อยอาวุธเช่นกันค่ะ
ค่ะ Alright with that said let's take a short break now and when we come back we have lots of news updates coming up soon on the ASEAN Hot Issue
Stay tuned Welcome back to the program. Into ASEAN Challenge now, looking into ASEAN hot issues. Lots of events happening around our ASEAN community. Starting off with what's going on in Indonesia. This week, you could say, this past month exactly, lots of explosions have been happening around our ASEAN community and in Indonesia here in Jakarta. 2 explosions had resulted in 3 deaths and 10 injuries so far.
That's right. This occurrence, of course, occurred. The situation occurred on May 25th, Thursday, in which happened during the evening time. As you mentioned, it happened it happened twice. Let's say that at around a bus terminal, actually, as well. So therefore, 3 people that you said in which died from the situation were actually policemen, of course, and then several were also injured as well in this situation.
Right, what you can see here is actually a parking lot by the bus terminal where the 2 bombs exploded, actually set off by 2 suicide bombers, as police are suspecting. So the blasts themselves did not carry out a huge radius, but altogether there were tons of damages and, as we saw, casualties early on as well. And this happened just days before Ramadan began, which is a very important period for Muslims across the country and of course across the world as well. And this is at Jakarta's Kampung Melayu bus terminal. People here are peering over to see the damage, and as you can see, lots of shrapnel, lots of glass spraying everywhere.
So also for these two bombs, they occurred quite right after each other, about 5 or 10 minutes right after one another. So as you mentioned, of course, casualties, not such great radius, of course, but it did cause casualties in terms of deaths and injuries as well.
So far, authorities are still investigating to see who had caused the blast and who has been behind these incidents. So far, no clear group has come out to take responsibility, but you could say take an educated guess that these bombing incidents happened by lone wolf militants, you could say, trying to carry out unrest throughout Jakarta, even though the government has still been carrying out sustained crackdowns on militants across the entire country since the big blast happened back in 2012, the bomb that killed dozens of people.
ใช่แล้วค่ะมาดูกันในส่วนข่าวแรกของอาเซียนฮอตอิชชูค่ะถ้าพูดถึงสถานการณ์ทั่วโลกเลยตอนนี้ถ้าไม่ใช่แค่ในอาเซียนอย่างเดียวค่ะช่วงเดือนที่ผ่านมาก็ว่าได้นะคะมีเหตุระเบิดที่เกิดขึ้นค่อนข้างที่จะบ่อยนะคะก็เป็นเหตุที่สลดเศร้าพอสมควรมากมายหลายๆที่นะคะในอินโดนีเซียเช่นเดียวกันนะคะก็มีเหตุระเบิดที่เกิดขึ้นนะคะ2ระลอกด้วยกันนะคะเกิดขึ้นที่ท่ารถโดยสารทางตะวันออกของกรุงจาการ์ตาของอินโดนีเซียนั่นเองค่ะซึ่งเหตุการณ์นี้นะคะก็เกิดขึ้นในช่วงค่ำของวันที่25 พฤษภาคมทำให้มีผู้เสียชีวิตนะคะก็เป็นตำรวจ3 นายแล้วก็มีผู้ที่ได้รับบาดเจ็บประมาณ10 คนด้วยกันค่ะคนที่ถือว่ามันเป็นคนที่วางระเบิดเนี่ยถือว่าฆ่าตัวตายในตัวด้วยแล้วก็ระเบิดทั้ง2 ระลอกเนี่ยเกิดขึ้นเพียงแค่ 5-10 นาทีห่างกันเท่านั้นเองค่ะ
ใช่ค่ะก็นับว่าเป็นช่วงเวลาที่น่าเสียใจจริงๆนะคะเพราะว่ามันเป็นช่วงเวลาสำคัญของชาวมุสลิมทั่วโลกด้วยก่อนรอมฎอนนั่นเองซึ่งตอนนี้นะคะรัฐบาลก็ยังพยายามที่จะสืบสวนเหตุการณ์ว่าเกิดขึ้นยังไงได้อย่างไรเพราะว่าในประเทศเขาก็พยายามที่จะควบคุมเหตุการณ์แบบนี้เพราะว่าในประเทศอินโดนีเซียมีเหตุการณ์แบบนี้เกิดขึ้นบ่อยขึ้นค่ะSo we'll keep you posted on these developments in Indonesia as various forces continue to crack down on these elements still happening around the country. But meanwhile, talking about bombs and explosions, more tragic news still on the same note in the Philippines this time. The military in the Philippines are carrying out intensified operations as well in Marawi to drive out ISIL-aligned groups on Sunday. Militants also associated with the Islamic State group. Now, this is the 6th day since the militants had seized part of the city in the southern Philippines, where lots of brutal crackdowns and conflict had continued to escalate over this time, where the government is combining forces against the Busayaf and Moti groups under the seized parts of Marawi, you could say, since Tuesday. More casualties actually have been discovered in this war-torn city.
That's right. So the streets have already been cleared of enemies, but gunshots and bombardments could be heard frequently as well. Soldiers have said that there were snipers all around the area as well. The military has used helicopters and artillery to engage in street fights with militants. Armored vehicles along with truckloads of soldiers arrived, and the gunshots had given way to more airstrikes as well. In terms of the local government, they left the job of securing the city completely to the military as martial law was in place.
Right. Still, some 2,000 residents had been reportedly trapped, still are trapped in the militant-held villages here. Many were caught in the crossfires, killed by militants and perhaps even by security forces as well, as they were caught in the crossfires. So far, more than 50 people have died on both sides as of Sunday. 8 had been found to have been shot to death Friday morning. It's a really sad incident happening in Marawi right now, where the military and police checkpoints on both sides of the crime scene are trying to crack down on the situation, but it's really spiraling into chaos at the moment.
That's right มาดูกันที่ข่าวที่2นะคะก็ยังถือว่าเป็นข่าวสลดหรือว่าข่าวร้ายแต่ว่ามาดูกันที่ประเทศฟิลิปปินส์กันบ้างค่ะซึ่งในประเทศฟิลิปปินส์นะคะทางทหารฟิลิปปินส์กับกลุ่มติดอาวุธแนวร่วมของ IS ในเมืองเนี่ยก็ถือว่ากำลังต่อสู้รบกันอย่างรุนแรงค่ะในจำนวนผู้เสียชีวิตนะคะก็มีทั้งหมดตอนนี้เพิ่มขึ้นเป็น100คนแล้วภายในระยะเวลาเพียง1สัปดาห์เท่านั้นนะคะขณะที่รัฐบาลก็ได้ยกเลิกเจรจาสันติภาพรอบที่5กับกลุ่มกบฏเป็นที่เรียบร้อยแล้วในจำนวน100คนเนี่ยค่ะที่เสียชีวิตเนี่ย61คนค่ะถือว่าเป็นสมาชิกกลุ่มติดอาวุธเมาเตนะคะซึ่งเป็นแนวร่วมของกลุ่ม IS ในส่วนที่เหลือค่ะก็มี20นายที่เป็นทหารหรือว่าตำรวจแล้วก็พลเรือนอีก19คนค่ะ
So that's what's happening in the Philippines at the moment. In addition to other crackdowns, this crackdown is also intensifying as well in the country, and we'll keep you posted on more developments as our ASEAN chair is undergoing trials and serious obstacles at the moment. On another note, but you could say less extreme, going to Malaysia this time, talking about Ramadan. This is an important period, not just for people in Indonesia and around the world. In Malaysia, Ramadan is a period of celebration, but so far, different issues like rising costs have been dampening the cheer in the country.
That's right. So Ramadan had officially kicked off on May 27th, and in Malaysia itself, we can say that people are cutting down on lavish dinner spreads amid high inflation and rising food costs. So according to a lot of, we can say, retailers and wholesalers or people or producers, they need to raise the cost of food due to the rise in materials and ingredients in order to make these food due to inflation and the economy at the moment. So therefore, inflation in Malaysia was up to 4.3% in the first quarter alone this year. So of course that has had an effect on food sales and prices and has an effect on Ramadan as we see.
Right. A popular Ramadan bazaar in Kuala Lumpur, for example, said they were forced to raise their prices too with higher costs of raw materials like sugars and oils. Cooking oils, though, have been removed from the list of inflation. So at least there was that.
If we talk about the ringgit itself, though, it's considered as one of the region's worst performing currencies last year, 2016, which hit a 19-year low of 4.98 on January 4th this year. But so far, the year has strengthened about 3.7% against the dollar. But still, of course, inflation and due to the economy still going on, we can see that a lot of people are still having to, let's say, tighten up their wallets in order to embrace for this situation.
Definitely. So it's going to be a period of a bit of tightening, but hopefully there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and we'll keep you posted on that whenever it percolates.
ใช่แล้วค่ะมาดูกันที่มาเลเซียกันบ้างค่ะซึ่งหลายคนชาวมุสลิมก็น่าจะทราบกันดีนะคะเมื่อวันที่27พฤษภาคมนะคะก็เป็นการเริ่มต้นของช่วงรอมฎอนนั่นเองค่ะซึ่งทางมาเลเซียเนี่ยก็ถือว่าในปีนี้ไม่ค่อยคึกคักเท่าไหร่เพราะว่าสภาวะเศรษฐกิจก็ถือว่าชะลอตัวค่ะก็ทางชาวมุสลิมที่ประเทศมาเลเซียนะคะก็ต้องประหยัดตังค์กันว่างั้นเถอะเพราะว่าในขณะนี้เงินเฟ้อของมาเลเซียก็ได้เพิ่มขึ้นเป็นจำนวน 4.3% ในช่วงไตรมาสแรกของปีนั่นเองนั่นค่ะ
ค่ะแต่ก็นับว่ายังไงนะคะคนก็ต้องการเฉลิมฉลองอยู่ดีนะคะถึงแม้ว่าจะเป็นช่วงที่อาจจะต้องรัดเข็มขัดกันนิดนึงแต่ก็นับว่าการออกมาซื้อของออกมาทำเทรดก็เป็นอะไรที่ยังคึกคักพอสมควรอยู่
ก็ถือว่าหวังว่าเศรษฐกิจจะดีขึ้นนะคะและหวังว่าในปีหน้าก็จะได้ฉลองรอมฎอนกันอย่างคึกคักมากขึ้นนะคะ
ค่ะ So indeed we'll follow up on that report as Ramadan takes place around the world. But meanwhile, on a lighter note this time, going over to Singapore on a different note, Apple Orchard Road is debuting Apple's first store in Southeast Asia.
That's right. So as we know that Orchard Road is a popular road for a lot of people, tourists and locals, to go shopping. It's a very lively street. And so this is the location for Apple's first flagship store in Southeast Asia. Now in terms of flagship stores all around the world, there's hundreds of them, actually 496 to be exact. Most of them, of course, are in the United States, and therefore, as we can see here, it opened on the 27th of May, and this is the atmosphere that was going on inside. A total of 237 employees greeted customers coming in at 10 a.m. that day.
Definitely a vibrant opening for Apple's first stores. No wonder that Apple chose to open its first flagship store in Singapore, one of the hottest countries, you could say, financial hubs in Southeast Asia. But here, it's a close example of another project, close collaboration between Foster and partners. The design team took a lot of care in designing the interior as well. The chief design officer, led by Apple, Sir Jonathan Ive, and also Angela Arentz, the senior vice president of retail and online stores, they join hands to create the design and the layout for the shop, which is very, very Apple.
That's right. But speaking of the design as well, it also goes in theme with Singapore as being one of the greenest cities in the world. So therefore, the flagship has embraced this theme as well. And from what you can see in here, there's lots of green inside of the store itself. It has a 120-foot or 36.5 meter long glazed storefront in which has thin white canopy on the outside as well. So it's very eye-drawing, and it's also functional as well because it provides shelter from Singapore's tropical climate.
Taking a look at it's very one with nature here, really blending into the orchard road with various orchard trees lining the interior, but altogether very zen too.
There you go. So those of you who are traveling to Singapore, you have another store to take a look at when you go there, when you reach Orchard Road, of course.
Definitely good news for iPhone fans and Apple fans. That aside, some food for thought. Let's take a short break though. When we come back, more coming up, more colorful events in ASEAN calendar. Stay tuned.
พักกันสักครู่ค่ะ
Welcome back to the show. Into ASEAN calendar, lots of highlights coming up around the ASEAN bloc.
ใช่แล้วค่ะกลับเข้าสู่รายการ ASEAN Challenge ค่ะในช่วงนี้ ASEAN Calendar เราจะไปดูกันว่ามีอีเวนต์อะไรที่อยู่ในช่วงระยะเวลานี้ค่ะ
Let's check it out. International Children's Day in Cambodia. International Children's Day is a public holiday in many parts of the world. This holiday is the day dedicated to all the young victims of various human rights violations globally. History of Children's Day in Cambodia. International Children's Day was first celebrated in October 1953, sponsored by the International Union for Child Welfare in Geneva. In 1954, the United Nations General Assembly adopted the idea of a Universal Children's Day, which at present takes place annually on November 20th. On that very same day, in 1959, the United Nations General Assembly adopted the Declaration for the Rights of the Child. On November 20th, 1989, the Convention on the Rights of the Child was signed, having been accepted by 191 countries since then. The United Nations has clearly spelled out the rights of a child living in any part of the world. These rights entitle a child to receive primary education and to grow up in conditions that are mentally, physically, culturally, and spiritually stable. Sadly, developing countries are unable to provide these basic amenities to kids, which include a primary education. Pancasila Day in Indonesia. Pancasila Day is an Indonesian observance held on June 1st each year. It commemorates Sukarno's speech known as the birth of the Pancasila, which he presented on June 1st, 1945. Pancasila is the official philosophical foundation of the Republic of Indonesia, promulgated by the country's first president, Sukarno. The word Pancasila is translated from Old Javanese as the Five Principles. Sukarno formulated these principles to pull together the diverse archipelago populated by hundreds of ethnic groups. The five original principles presented by Sukarno to the Investigating Committee for Preparatory Work for Indonesian Independence are Indonesian nationality, internationalism, deliberative consensus, social welfare, and belief in the one and only God. They were intended to reconcile nationalists, Muslims, and Christians who had conflicting priorities. Pancasila is mainly a fusion of elements of nationalism, socialism, and monotheism. It promotes the idea of the society based on democracy and social justice, with an emphasis on religiosity and monotheism. Pancasila Day is an official observance but a non-working public holiday. It's been observed each year since 1945.
World Milk Day 2017. World Milk Day is celebrated by the people all over the world on the 1st of June every year. World Milk Day history. World Milk Day was first celebrated in 2001 all across the world by the participation of many countries. The number of participating countries in the celebration is increasing year by year. Since then, it is celebrated every year, focusing to publicize the activities related to the milk and milk industries all through the world. This celebration has been nationalized by organizing celebration-related activities on national and international levels. It is celebrated to increase the public awareness about the importance of milk and milk products for everyone throughout the whole life. World Milk Day was first established to be celebrated every year on the 1st of June by the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization. It was selected on the 1st of June as the National Milk Day. It was selected on the 1st of June as the National Milk Day was already being celebrated by many countries during this time. Why World Milk Day is celebrated? World Milk Day is celebrated by the people all across the world on an annual basis on the 1st of June. It is celebrated to increase the common public awareness about all aspects of the natural milk, such as its natural origin, milk nutritional value, and various milk products, including its economic importance throughout the globe. It started celebrating in several countries, for example, Malaysia, Colombia, Romania, Germany, United Arab Emirates, USA, and so forth, by the participation of various consumers and employees of milk industries. Milk is focused as the global food throughout the celebration of World Milk Day. Varieties of promotional activities describing the importance of milk as a healthy and balanced diet are launched by the International Dairy Federation on its website online. Various members of the health organizations take part in the celebration to work together in order to distribute the message of milk's importance to the common public through the promotional activities all through the day. World Milk Day celebration has impacted large populations to understand milk. Milk is a great source of all healthy nutrients required in the body, for example, calcium, magnesium, zinc, phosphorus, iodine, iron, potassium, folates, vitamin A, vitamin D, riboflavin, vitamin B12, protein, healthy fats, and more. It is very energetic diet, provides instant energy to the body as it contains high quality of protein, including both essential and non-essential amino acids and fatty acids. World Milk Day activities. As milk is an important food for everyone and must add in the balanced diet on a daily basis, World Milk Day celebration has brought an effective revolution among the common public about the importance of milk. World Milk Day celebration brings a perfect opportunity every year for everyone all through the world to get a new message about adding milk to their balanced diets. It is celebrated by the association members on national and international levels by working together to convey the message among public through lots of promotional activities. World Milk Day celebration was initiated by the UN Food and Agriculture Organization in 2001 in order to encourage common social public about the milk and dairy products consumption as their daily diet. All aspects of the milk are annually celebrated through this event in many countries all around the world. A variety of activities relating to the theme of the celebration is organized by the NGO, private, and governmental health organizations, including screening consumer education projects of milk by SAMPRO, or South African Milk Processors Organization, communication programs aiming to target markets, and so forth to promote milk health and nutritional advantages. World Environment Day. Every 5th of June is World Environment Day. On this day, communities and individuals around the world work to increase awareness of the importance of conserving the environment, the positive global impact of environmental regulations and controls, and engage in activities that serve to educate and improve their environment locally. It grew out of the efforts of leading environmentalists who recognized the need for there to be a coordinated global focus to begin to make conserving the environment and our natural resources a priority. Similar to World Environment Day is Earth Day, that is celebrated every year on the 22nd of April, and Earth Hour, that is celebrated every year on the last Saturday of the month of March from 8:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m., while Earth Day is an event that is celebrated every year on the 22nd of April to gather support for protection of the environment. Earth Hour is another event organized by the WWF that encourages millions of people around the world to switch off their lights for 1 hour in order to show their commitment towards planet Earth. World Oceans Day. History. On June 8th each year, we celebrate the ocean, its importance in our lives, and how we can protect it. World Oceans Day helps raise the profile of the ocean and inspire more involvement in helping to conserve its amazing resource we all depend on. We have to ensure that oceans continue to meet our needs without compromising those of future generations. They regulate the planet's climate and are a significant source of nutrition. Their surface provides essential passage for global trade, while their depths hold current and future solutions to humanity's energy needs. This was said by the former UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon. Why World Oceans Day? The Ocean Project recognizes that there is one global ocean that connects us all. Within our one ocean, there are 5 distinct oceans: the Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, Arctic Ocean, and Southern Ocean. Until 2009, we promoted World Ocean Day but added the S after the United Nations General Assembly passed a resolution in late 2008, officially recognizing June 8th as World Oceans Day. Perhaps one day, the UN will embrace the singular ocean, but in the meantime, we are following the UN's designated use of the World Oceans Day to show solidarity for the conservation of this important resource that connects us all.
And that was your ASEAN calendar highlights over the next few weeks in our ASEAN block. Let's take a short break though. Coming up next, we have ASEAN Interview.
พักกันสักครู่ค่ะ